What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Jump Dropper Sports. I'm your host, Shanti Stewart, back here with the guy, my man, Ace. Hey, man, the season's getting closer, bro. I mean, are you starting to feel it? Does it feel like football's around the corner?
Man, it does, bro. Like, cause Saturday we got Georgia Tech, Florida State. I really think that's going to be a good game. People sleep on Georgia Tech. I think the momentum is starting to turn there in that building. Are they good enough to beat Florida State? I have no idea. I do know their quarterback is not built for it. Florida State quarterback, that is. So, uh,
Well,
man, I'm
hey,
excited, bro. I'm excited, man. I'm tired of watching baseball, man. We can finally get to some good sports, man. I feel, matter of fact, don't you ever step outside a little bit? You feel the weather, the chill, just the fall chill, just getting there
it's
just a
it's
little bit.
coming, bro. The season
Yeah,
change is here. The season change is happening kind of instant. Like I cannot lie. And again, bro, like high school football started up. That's happening. Around here, that's a big deal. Even where you at right now, we know it's a big deal.
oh yeah,
Um, Preseason football happened this past weekend here in Charlotte. You're starting to really feel it. And I mean, and I can always tell by the angst on Panthers Twitter whenever we really close to football season. You know it's football season when you got Panthers Twitter going at each other's necks about however the team is being run. So, what not a better way to start this episode off than to talk about the Carolina Panthers? I know you brought it up. Second week in a row, we don't see the starters.
hmm
We talked about it a little bit in pre-show. How are you feeling about Dave Canales and his decision to not play his starters for now his second consecutive week with the last preseason game remaining coming up this weekend?
um, and 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 it's looking like we're not going to see them this week either because the Bills announced, I want to say yesterday, that the starter's not going to be playing this Saturday. So this might be 3 weeks in a row. I got mixed reviews about it. The last thing we want to do is send Bryce out there. He get hurt in the preseason. The Panthers, we have a history of our QBs getting hurt in the preseason. First, starting with Ace Boogie himself with a Lynch Frank injury. Then Matt Corral a couple years back, both at Patriots Stadium. So we, I mean, I really would love to see Bryce get 1 or 2 series in. I know our guy Panthers culture. Hey, I'm gonna say
He is
this.
strong about it.
Yeah, um, culture. We better look like something on week 1 because his Twitter count is gonna be unbearable if we can't get more than 17 points. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm not expecting that. Honestly, I'm not expecting that because a lot is we got to be in sync game speed wise. Like there's a difference between practice speed and game speed. It's going to hopefully it don't take a while for us to get in sync. I had mixed reviews about it. I rather for our guys to stay healthy. I got X. Having a good a bit of a hard time with the injury bug. Um, and last thing we don't need is Bryce getting hurt because we see Jake the Plumber, and I mean, hell, I'm cool with Andy Dalton going out there. But hopefully he dealing with a quad injury. So I don't know, brother. I hopefully Dave Canales know what he's doing. If I'm not mistaken, is this his first go as a head coach? Like this is first.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah. He's his
uh,
first go.
we're gonna be growing together then. We got the same similarities with a first term head coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's just a growing experience. Patches
it
want to grow
is.
with him.
It is indeed a growing experience. And here's what I'll say about it. In week one of the preseason, I I understood it, considering that we had Andy Dalton go down and we had X also dealing with the injury during that week of practice. I understood that. I figured something told. Here's what told me that we weren't going to see our guys against the Jets. I was a clip of Bill Belichick. I believe he was on the Pat McAfee show. He was talking about different ways to get different guys going and how to implement your guys into the preseason. And I want to say he said that when you have joint practices, if you go a week with joint practices, do you really want to then play this team on game day after you've been going head to head at practice at least for like 2 or 3 days? So I kind of figured that once that being our week of joint practices with the Jets, I figured we probably won't see our guys because the Jets also didn't send their guys out. So again, I would ask everyone, what exactly did you want to see them against the ones, or do you just want to see them at all? Now I understand they do need at least a couple series. The people that have quoted me on X have brought up some valid points. Like we at least want to see a few series, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. Whatever's going on in that building, I think they have a better insight than what we have out here. But I don't think anybody's wrong in that. You want to see them play at least a bit to get in sync, and at least get in sync with a new play caller. We do have to remember this is a new offensive coordinator and a new system that we're running. We've never seen Bryce run it live, so I understand the trepidation about that as well. And I think a lot of what we're coming down with is that we expect to not look like much come week one. That's pretty much what I've gathered from this. Like I can't expect this team to all of a sudden be world beaters when I wasn't strong about them playing during the preseason. If it's up to me, I think Dave should send the guys out there for the Buffalo Bills. Because the only game you've played thus far where a team has played their starters has been New England, and also a new head coach with new quarterbacks and a new system. All that they're trying to make it mesh as soon as possible. We've taken a more prolonged approach. So again, it is what it is. The situation is what the situation is. We do have to see our starters for at least two series. I think two, maybe three series with your starting groups on both sides of the ball. I mean, well, not JC. I'm cool on JC. Doesn't need to play at all until the season starts. Let's be. I have no issue with that. I don't need to see Clowney either. Like here's the thing, and you jump in here. Do we think people want to see all the stars, or you just want to see the offense? Because to me, it feels like it's only the offense that people want to see.
Absolutely, man. I want to see. I want to see our guy X, man. Like XL. Like I told you, like I texted you in the chat, man. Once I saw XL was not playing, I said, "All right, cool." I went on, did some other things. You know, what I'm saying ain't no need to watch. I mean, ain't no need to watch. You know, um, as far as Clowney, JC, yeah, we don't need to see them. I mean, we already know what Clowney can do. Which Clowney is looking like his old self, from what I'm seeing. Bringing that fire to practice. You know what I'm saying? You know, we know what Clowney can do. JC, we just baby steps with him as well. I hate to say that with I got my Homer hat on for a reason. You know, what I'm saying I hate to say that, but I JC baby steps with him. I would love to see him play a full season and get his bag, which is well deserved bag. But yeah, man, just saying Bryce out there. I would love to see what Thielen, was it Thielen, Mingo, and Tay. Well, actually, we don't need to see Tay either. I think Tay need to have veterans sit out. So yeah, just send X out there. Just see what the game plan would be with X. You know what I'm saying? That's about it, really. That's all I just want to see.
Well, see, it was my thing, man. I was thinking this through, and I'm like, well, Deontay Johnson, we know who he is. He's got several years of NFL experience, and the tape that's out there, we know the type of receiver that he is. Adam Thielen, older guy, we saw what he was for us last year. He's clearly the best receiver in that room until proven otherwise. The only guy you would really want to get reps right now is X. That's the one guy where I agree with everyone. He needs to be out there if he can be out there. Get him out there. He's never taken a tackle in an NFL game. Like he's never made a catch, gotten tackled, anything within an NFL game. So I would hate for week one against the Saints in a pivotal game because it is a division matchup to be his first experience touching an NFL field. Doesn't really feel like the right way to go with that, but I digress. But with Bryce, well, if we don't think he's going to play with Thielen or Johnson, do you still want him out there? And I guess that's the question that I'll leave for everyone else to answer. I I understand that you do want to see him out there with the offense and playing under the new system and getting the timing down, but I don't believe you're going to see a whole bunch of Terrace Marshall out there either. Now, I know another point people will bring up is that Brock Purdy did just play a preseason game without his starters on the field, and Brock Purdy to this point has played more meaningful snaps in the NFL than Bryce has, and has played more winning football than Bryce has, whether the situation be the same or not. So people would use that, and I can't refute it. I can't refute it, but I kind of want to see all of the guys out there at the same time because he's going to work with are those the guys that are going to play. But nonetheless, some of these guys may have to play at some point.
And you got to pull
My
up.
stance is playing with the starters, but playing with the other guys won't hurt either.
You got to pull up Brock Purdy's stats too. His stats did not look good in that preseason game. And which we know Brock Purdy is a pretty he's a good game manager quarterback, but like if it ain't, which I be concerned if Niners fans, bro. If Kittle, Debo, and well, we don't know the status of Ayuk. Hopefully they can get it figured out Ayuk, but if they not in, man, I don't know. Brock look kind of lost out there, but it could be the O line as well too. I was the whole O line down too. It wasn't just the skill players.
I'm not exactly sure. I didn't look too much into it. The only thing I saw was that Brock wasn't playing with the starters and he was still gonna play. So I didn't delve too deep into who was. I didn't even watch that game. Actually, I haven't been going back and rewatch that
Yeah,
preseason game.